I hear hopes I see Joey Ramai. I say, who you calling by me? I see Robin Gopal and Eversley. Ramkila one sing and Dolce. Bagwan didn't sing crying like a baby. Ram sing Thomas and Sankarali. I dreamt I met these 9 men on death row. They tell the public in case they go. They say he did pay we to kill Errol Spencer. He did pay we to talk to Escobar. All them drug money we give UNC. You know they come back and arrest the hangman on we. They did pay we more than 90,000 to get rid of Selwyn Richardson. But now we control the law, so you ring the bell. But we waiting for him, cause we sure he coming in hell. And we go grab him, and we go stab him. We waiting patiently to give him trouble. We go choke him with a needle, and we go lock him. Get man up Benjamin top. All them wicked things they say they go do, because they say they sure you did kill people too. Bye. I jump out my bed like a madman when I hear the information. I pick up my pen and say, crow, crow, you have to put this in Kaiser. But then I study slander and I study libel because they mention the Attorney General. But then I tell myself, crooks, you slate clean because you're simply reporting a dream. They say he did pay we to shoot and kill his head. He did pay we to make sure Alwyn King dead. He is one of the most wicked men that we know. Responsible for more than half the men in death row. He did tell we if we kill Clint Huggins someday, he assure we bound to get away. But now we control the law, so he ring the bell. But we waiting for him, cause we sure he coming in here. And we go woo him, and we go school. We going to make him ball for weeks, days and nights. Then he go know the wrong things for human rights. And we go pull him. Then we go. All them wicked things they're planning for you, because they say they sure you did kill people too. They say crooks, we know we do plenty, but crooks tell the public for we. Tell them that we are terribly sorry for the Babulal family. But is he who encouraged me to do this? Is he used to say to kill the witness? I beg in all you, be careful with the chief, cause the Apola is worse than the thief. He defend we when P&M was there. Soon as they slip through, he throw we away. From since the days of Rama and the Fruit King, all them in jacket and tie, all them was stealing. The girl they find dead in the car trunk in Gulf City. Crooks tell the public, we know it was he. Murazi never quail, we cannot see well, so we waiting for him to be sure he coming in hell. And we go scratch him, and we go bash him. All them wrong things he do, he bound to regret.
You know when I play that crew.
After that, and we go scrape.
You know when I play that crew.
Oh.
It is because I come in a kind of way to, I mean, let me just let crew sing it, man.
Crew. Yeah.
A pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the classroom. It is another evening. The class is presently in session, ladies and gentlemen. It is yours truly, Royalty James. It is yours truly, Pingaling, Prince James, PJ. Whatever way in which you wish to address me, ladies and gentlemen, I am here in person. I am here live and in living colors. How are you doing this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen? How are we? I believe we had one of the most peaceful Easter weekend I have encountered in a long time. I believe I must say kudos to the Royal Grenada Police Force and to all entities involved. Let me not just single it to the police. All right. I believe because of we being very good citizens, hence the reason why we can simply go ahead and beat our chest and proclaim that we are indeed a peaceful island. How are we doing this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen? It is Tuesday, the 11th of April. Somebody saying that I'm low. Are you hearing me now? I want to ensure today when you're hearing me, you're hearing me good. So what about now? A person's hearing me? Persons are complaining that it's a little bit low. My audio is low. What about now? Are you hearing me now? Is my audio good now? A little better? I want to bring up the right. I believe I'm going to walk with about there. Because I don't want to go. It's better. Some persons are saying that it's better. Some persons are still saying low. All right. So as we go along, I want persons just indicate to me. I want to believe that you're hearing a little bit better now. So again, a pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are presently along with us here inside of the classroom. We are here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, to converse. We are here to speak. All right, persons are saying that they're hearing me now. So once you're hearing me now, go ahead and just share the live right now. Go ahead, share up the live. Let them know that Pingaling is on. See, I wearing my green jersey this evening. Oh my, ladies and gentlemen. Barry, pleasant good evening to you. Behave yourself in the class. Go pull a chair. And furthermore, I want you in front of the class, Barry, because you're troublesome bad. A pleasant good afternoon to you, Dale Thomas. How are you? Mr. Brave Boy, a pleasant good day. Cynthia Bartholomew. Yolanda, how are you? Cecilyn Julian. Mr. Michael Lambert, a pleasant good afternoon to you. Class is in session this afternoon. As I was saying, I want to give kudos to the entire Grenada, Carriacou, and Peter Martinique. Right? You all really displayed peacefulness over the Easter weekend. And I say this is very much commendable. I have not heard any fatalities or anything of serious injuries or anything like, violence or anything. Maybe it has not reached my news desk yet. But however, I have not heard of anything that is too exorbitant or anything that was life-threatening over the weekend. So I want to say that is kudos, ladies and gentlemen, to the entire Royal Grenada Police Force. First, for ensuring that they have kept that peace, and to our wonderful citizens for continuing to display that level of, peacefulness. All right. So to everybody that's on the live, I want to say a pleasant good afternoon again. Crystal Nixon Francis, you are here just about 6 minutes late. You take a chair and sit down. That is okay. We are going to accept that. But anybody after you, we will have to speak to them seriously. All right. Like persons like Anne-Marie Shares and so on, you all need to know. I need to know why you all are late in class this afternoon, all right? So, pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What do we start with? I mean, come on, there is nothing else better to start with today than giving a lot of likes right now on the live, a lot of round of applause, a lot of love to the Carifta team who represented Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique out there in the Bahamas over the weekend. I want to see a lot of likes, a lot of heart, a lot of love, a lot of just a lot of notifications right now for the young men and women who went out there to the Bahamas and represented that nutmeg for us in full bloom, ladies and gentlemen. It was a sight to see. It was an amazing feeling. Every time I saw that red, green, and yellow standing on the podium, collecting either second or third place, despite I don't think we have any gold medals. I am subjected to corrections, but I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, Hats off to the young men and young women who represented Grenada over the weekend. Yes, give them a lot of love, a lot of likes to the parents, to the persons who sent out prayers to them, to the coaches, to the teachers in the different school. So many different entities that would have caused this proud moment, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a round of applause to each and every individual who made this possible. I want to say good afternoon to every one of you. God's blessings to each and every one of you. Grenada's name has again, ladies and gentlemen, been brought forward in the public, and that's the region. I believe the international world would have seen some of the athletes, but it was amazing. It was amazing. Ethan, that name, remember that name. I don't know how many of you all follow cricket, but I remember when Brathwaite would have won the 2020 cricket competition for West Indies, and Ian Bishop was the announcer, and he was saying on the mic, Brathwaite, remember that name. Ethan Sam, ladies and gentlemen, remember that name. I can see good things in this young man. I hope and pray that what he needs to go further and forward, it is given to him, his family, his friends, his well-wishers, everything that is to be given to this young man, let it be given now. Let it be given now. Ethan Sam, remember that name. All right? So I just wanted to ensure that I start today's session, today's class with, giving some good news. All right? Now, just to go further, Grenada has been granted the opportunity next year in 2024 to host the Carifta Games. I say that in glee, and I say that in despair. Glee to the sense that we all would be happy to have our country host such a wonderful event, regionally recognized event. Despair that I hope and pray that color does not bar the eyes of the organizers, and that we display to the Caribbean and the rest of the world our very best. I am talking good in announcement, good officials. I am talking about no biasness in absolutely nothing based on color. Groundsmen and women that are qualified and understands, coordinators that knows. I mean, I can go on and on and on in asking, ladies and gentlemen, that the reflection that we give next year, God willing, is not one where we choose person on a political basis for the purpose of favoritism, and that we display our very, very best. Even it means that we have to start to send persons on little courses as of now in things like announcement and the pronunciation and understanding of different events and pronunciation of persons on, hotel industries. We ensure that, because you see, we want to put on display not just the fact that we're hosting them at the National Stadium, but we want to ensure that when we get there, when persons get to the National Stadium, they're seeing a reflection of Grenada and the best of Grenada, despite whomever you support. Because listen to me, we cannot run from it and talk about, don't involve politics in everything. We know it is going to have some persons that are going to be given positions based on the feelings that they would have supported the political party that is in power. Let's stop being unrealistic as if we don't know it is going to happen. We want the best of the best. Let me tell you something. Nice talk in terms of announcement is as low as if you don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you know what to pronounce, you know what nice words to use, but if you do not understand a race, you don't understand what qualifies an individual for a high jump, you don't understand what qualifies an individual for a short put, it makes no sense putting you there on the basis that, oh, because she does be on radio, or he does be on radio, or he or she could talk. When you go to these events, you have to have a certain level of historical understanding. Like you are the event and you know the 400 meters is being held by X or Y. On the 400 meters, you know, the 4x1 team who might have won last year's 4x1 race. Those are things that you need to be knowledgeable about from time to time, because when you are giving or disseminating such information, it is of paramount importance that the information that you're giving is one, factual, and you have an understanding about what you're speaking about. So you don't just want to talk because you feel, oh, somebody could give some kind of nice talk and everybody could think and pronounce. This is not what this is going to be about. This is not what this is going to be about. When you look at different events and you hear different commentaries, you hear somebody could reflect or reference to an individual who says, remember when you played that World Cup game and you know when you used to play for who, and in cricket you hear Ian Bishop and them said, remember when you played against England. This is not on the basis that they could speak. This is at the advantage that they're knowledgeable about what they're speaking about. So when Ian Bishop says to you a ball goes to backward square, the layman man may not understand what is backward square, but a cricketer does, because he knows what is backward square and wide mid off and so on and so forth, and the terminologies the different terminologies that are used. So we want to ensure that when we display what we display, ladies and gentlemen, next year we are displaying the very best of Grenada and not politicize it to make to satisfy somebody because they supported X, Y, or Z. We will give them a blight. Okay, you know, we like to give people blight here. So we're hoping and praying that this is not going to be what is going to happen next year, God's willing. All right? Right. So, class, again, I want you to take out your textbooks right now. Take out your textbook right now and turn to page June 21st. Because I have a textbook I using. You have a textbook I using now. Turn your page to June 21st, 2022. And just browse through those pages and look for a few names that you knew just about last year that bashed the NNP. And how bad the NNP was and how the NNP was good. Names was called. How kind of names was referenced to persons? All kind of names. And then, before the class continues, because I want to ensure that the class is with me, I want to ensure that the class and I are in cognizance. You understand? But then, you move on to just about, April, I'm moving back, April, and then you are shocked to hear things like this.
And check every single thing the NDC is doing. They do not want you to criticize. They don't want you to call them on. They just want you to act as if this is a perfect government. And I am struggling with that. I am struggling with that request, whether subtly or boldly. I am struggling to accept how you want us. It was okay to criticize the NNP dialogue. It was fine. But now that the NDC is in government, you want us to check everything and say, okay, perfect.
Oh, sorry. I thought we was on a moment of silence for 1 minute. I was about to take a moment of silence. You know, I want to do this. I had to do this today. I had to do this for persons to understand what is democracy. For persons to understand fully what is the ability of freedom of speech. I wanted to do this so that persons don't say, oh, Prince talking because he's an NNP. I did this, ladies and gentlemen, on the basis, let me just rectify something here before I go on. Right. So I did this, ladies and gentlemen, on the basis for you to understand sometimes when I'm broadcasting what I usually say in terms of being able to openly discuss, give your own opinion and feelings on certain things. Now, Grenada has gone to a dark place. And I want to call it dark. Seems like my system wants to give me a little trouble, but don't worry, we're working with that. God's not dead, he's still alive. Right? Right. So, understand what democracy is. Politicians would want you to believe democracy is simply going to your ballot box on election day and casting the vote for or against an individual or a party. Politicians want you to believe that democracy is when they do, and only when they do, that is democracy. They want you to believe democracy is when you go to a rally or you go to a party event and you show your loyalty or support to that specific party and you jump, I am an NNP or I am an NDC. And then this is democracy to them. If you as an electorate cannot express your displeasure or pleasure when a party is governing, you should not be an electorate. There are some persons that do not express themselves like that verbally, like me. A lot of persons wish they could do what I'm doing here. And it goes on the basis that some of them don't have the ability to maybe speak eloquently like I can. But they have the education all up in their head. They have all the knowledge of what to say, but how to say, they can't. The National Democratic Congress is not now just applying pressure on Grenadians who supported them. Grenadians that did not support them. But we're seeing now, because I think that we're on our second live, or second individual who made it verbal and made it open that they are displeased with their governance. Zeroing into the St. Patrick's Northwest constituency and the parliamentary representative there. This is the second one. The second one within just a week as it relates to individuals sharing their displeasure on this administration, and more so, two persons who openly during the election supported the National Democratic Congress in the St. Patrick's Northwest area. Persons who made it so far as to taking the podium. Persons so far as to went in different rallies and different events and bashed Dr. Kit Mitchell, one of which met Dr. Mitchell in person and apologized to him. How did you know that? One of them met Dr. Mitchell in person and said to Dr. Mitchell, I am sorry. So when you hear I am on my program and other persons on their respective programs are speaking as it relates to their conversations and their experiences with Grenadians throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, as it relates to the displeasure and of this government, you think it's a joke. Sorry, not Northwest. St. Patrick's West. Thank you so very much. Miss Joseph Kada, thank you so much. So you see, sometimes when we do these things, like we come on with program and you would see the followers come and they would come below it and they would share their opinions and so on and say, Prince, what you doing there? And Prince, come out there. Because democratically, it is in their minds that we should hush him out. And if my class is so intrigued, I will play it. You know what? I will play it. I must warn that it is a lengthy clip. It is a lengthy clip. And so, I didn't want to play it because of the length of the clip. But if persons are insisting that they would love to hear it, then I have no choice but to let my class listen to this. It is a little bit lengthy, all right? I must warn, but persons, I want you to listen what the gentleman is saying. This is not a means of opinion like, oh, somebody hate NDC. No. If you listen it carefully, you will understand the manner in which this gentleman is speaking. All right? So let me just play the clip for you. I didn't want all you to see me when I'm playing the clip. All right? So let me just play the clip for you guys. All right?
I'm Stanley Charles. I speak to issues that is of concern to me. There is something called holding the line. There is something called the thin blue line, which is really to deal with the state, policing, that sort of things. So you should know the background without me even telling you the thin blue line. In Grenada, it's very difficult to spot where the lines are. And for instance, like the gatekeepers in Grenada, they're wishy-washy. They're not gatekeepers, but they are the gatekeepers. One of the problems I see emerging as an observer is that the NDC, they've gone to their culture of messing up. Simple things they're messing up. The business of Hopkins, that is a cock-up of the worst kind. But it's NDC, so you expect they will struggle through it. When it comes to appointing people as diplomats, this you have to be very careful, especially coming from the background we're coming from. And you need people who basically are at minister's level or even more because of the work they're going to have to do. We're starting from scratch. So I don't know how this guy ended up there, except for his association with Tillman. But then the Tillman government has been a failure. So you can't look to them to learn anything from them. They've been a tragic failure. They went to the polls and lost every seat. So I don't know what you could learn from them. But as the NDC, you really have to stop and think. Having a clique, which you're going into right now, a clique in St. George's trying to run Grenada, that shit is going to cost you dearly. I am now in St. Andrews, which is a strategic move. Now in St. Andrews, we have 4 seats. And I'll give you a Grenadian example. Do not overlook St. Andrews. It's going to cost you dearly. Do not overlook the farming and fishing community. It's going to cost you dearly. St. George's is not Grenada. Hotels and hotels and hotels is not the order of the day. It may be bread and butter, yes. Important and critical. It's not the main event. Now, you've just got into office and you promised to be transformative. You're anything but transformative. It doesn't appear that you understand that you are in government. You've got a mandate. Where is the political accent to what you're doing? There's no political accent. Your first cock up was you went and embraced the GIS, a propaganda unit. Even a donkey like me could tell you, you ought not to have embraced them. Then you went with the cess and you gave it back to the NNP to give out to their friends. You know, you make these conk up and cock ups. And then you did this thing which only you could defend that shit, is that a prime minister in a small country like this, Minister of Finance, which is what pushed the country forward, you're going to give that up. That reflects on you. Because what drives the country forward is its finance. And since you are the prime minister, it's a portfolio to hold on to. If even though all you're doing is take advice, you need to hold on to it. Okay, you've made that other blunder, you're giving it up. Okay, hopefully that the person who now is the Minister of Finance will drive the country. You need to push the country forward, and that is finance. The intelligence takes a time before we can see the benefit of investing in education. Intelligence will come. You know this stupid talk about blue economy, blue economy? Who is going to exploit the blue economy? Dummies like me? And forgive me to people who are mute. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Forgive me. I will not use the word again. Now, you need to have people that you've invested in who in universities, those we have there already, find out how many of them, whatever they've studied can be applied to help us exploit this blue economy, rather than bullshit talk. Now, in terms of the blunders you already made with diplomacy, we should have people who are in university or are going on to study at a school that we recommend, diplomatic schools, so they can help us, because we need to move the country forward. You cannot create jobs by having people like me. You need to have intelligence. And the future have to be that it's not so much these stupid hotels on hills and hotels. We have to do something about our agro-processing and processing stuff. That have to be given the greatest of all priorities. And that stupid thing you have called a Grenadian Development Bank really do need to become a bank, and do need to be able to take some sort of risk and get going. If you know you can't manage the bloody country, just walk away. Because people elected you as politician. They don't expect you to get everything right, and they don't expect you to become politicians overnight. But stop bloody waffling. If you are the prime minister, why the hell every time there's a press conference or so-called briefing, you're there? Why do you have to be the center of everything? Excuse me. You're not the press secretary. Why the hell are you in these press conferences? And you're diminishing the value of the thing. You go in and sit there as a prime minister and answering questions from people who can't even phrase a question. I mean, and you know that. You've been there long enough. Don't involve yourself in that. We now have different communications, and you want to speak to your people. You don't need to speak to these so-called journalists who come there with an agenda. So do what the other government did. Give them the questions. Excuse me. Excuse me. Give them the questions to ask you, because that's what they're used to. They don't do any damn research. Because if they did research, when this data protection bill, they will go and read up on the European Union and see that is where the pressure coming from, and the damn bill is not yours. The NNP had drafted the bill, and they would be able to put the facts as they are, and not necessarily the way I'm portraying it now. But all that is your fault. Whose fault do you think it is? It's not the journalist's fault. They're not briefed. They do not understand the background. So they're playing it the only way they know how to play. You have to bloody grow up. Are you a politician or not? If you're not, piss off. We need to take this country forward, and we need the political accent. We don't need to understand that you are an executive leader. We don't need to understand that. What we need to see is delivery. You were elected to deliver. Please deliver. But what you are showing so far is you're bloody confused. You don't know the way forward. Yes, we have development goals, sustainable development goals that we are partnering in. We have to do it, yes. But at the same time, there is something called a Grenadian accent, and we haven't seen that. The agriculture, let me inform you in case you don't know. It has, the Christian thing, this is a Christian period where agriculture has reborn. It's given itself a new birth. Now, purely because they're inspired by you, and you see everybody's planting and all sorts of things. Where I am, we see all these pumps, and rivers, and everybody is trying to do something. That's great, but it needs leadership. It needs direction. And then you made that cock up of all worst, cock up of closing down marketing board. That's one of your biggest bloody blunder, and that's why you had to give up being prime minister, because your backside will be terrorized and you will pay dearly. But now you are able to shift it, and hopefully you have enough time to put things right. And then that donkey you have running, what do you call the thing? Running lotto. How did that donkey get the job? Because he's a friend of your friend. This kind of shit, I thought we got rid of that. Friends and friends and friends. You cannot run a country with friends, my friend. You run a country with capable people. You don't run a country with friends. You know this famous kitchen cabinet? Well, kitchen cabinet works, yes, all over the world. But it's not made up of friends. It's made up of people who are absolutely brutal and honest in their opinions and to drive their country forward. Now, I'm ending on this point. You love to quote Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew wasn't a nice guy. He was not a nice guy. He had a vision for his country. Look at before he became that, what he used to do. And then when you turn around and jail, the same people used to help you jail them. No? But at the end of the day, look at the country he's produced. If you want to take Grenada forward, sir, stop messing about and do the right thing. We are driven by intelligence. Everybody knows that the world over. Invest in your people. Don't just talk STEM. Let our people practice STEM. The economy in Grenada is not in the hands of Grenadians. You need to have a very long-term plan to put it back in the hands of Grenadians. Please show more sensitivity to agriculture and agro-processing and the whole fishing sector. You are on the brink of being kicked out. If you don't get your ass together, you wouldn't even last 2 years. You're waffling, you're weak. And that comes through in what you're doing. If you're doing, you must tell people what you're doing. Look at this. I'll say I'm ending, but let me just round up on this. You are giving people these toilets. That is great. But there is also a political accent to it. And you are bringing back community development. The people need to know before you do it, and you need to understand the jobs that comes with these things and how these jobs are going. The same mistake you made with CES, please don't make it again. I'm Stanley Charles.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I know it was a lengthy listen. I hope everybody took the opportunity to take a good listen on. So I want to believe that you understand, in a nutshell, what this gentleman is saying. It doesn't take any high level of educational experience, any university graduate to understand what was said in 10 minutes. What I've been saying for in excess of 8 months or so. Who did not understand? Anybody in the class did not understand? Just raise your hand. If there is anybody in the class right now that did not understand what was just said, simply just raise your hand. Just I want you to raise your hand so I could put you outside the class, because I don't understand how much more simpler can this get. What else need to be said? How many persons can say it again? The National Democratic Congress is not simply understanding. Brothers, sisters, within the realm of our governance and government, you are failing on the basis of not thriving on simple, basic political standard. That is all we're telling you. This is all we are saying to you. There are decisions that you are making now on the basis that you would have made campaign promises that you want to fulfill. Not the Grenadian people are asking you to fulfill it, you want to fulfill it because you start to think about the next election already. You are not cementing yourself as a leader or a politician as yet, because you and your experience in terms of politics is a come in and a win. But you are not taking the time off to develop yourself, understand your people, understand why your people put you there. Let me tell you something. And the fact of the matter is, NNP supporters, maybe you all will get vexed with me when I say this. The National Democratic Congress, during the campaign, did what any good coach would do. He gave you all the nice plays. He tell you, listen to me, we go put it so and we go put it so and listen to me, if they come so, what and what we go do. The plan on the paper seemed nice. And so we were motivated. The motivational speech would have kept at us, and we cannot run from that. The majority of voters who voted that they were motivated. And we cannot run from that as NNP supporters. Because on the basis or on the factor of you need to get to the realization they won. They won. Some teams play the strongest team. And then you come and you ask the question about how this men and them win that game. It is because they were intrigued enough to become victorious. But the question for a lot of people when they win is, can you keep your reign? Can you keep your reign? Last season we saw a great performance for those of the basketball fanatics. We saw a great performance by the Golden State Warriors. Excellent performance, which earned them the NBA championship. But now they can't keep their reign. They're not even sure if they're going to make it into the playoffs, based on how it stands now. To win is one, but to keep your reign is the other. And when you can't be a winner, to give to the other side and say, listen to me, you know they played very well. You know if we didn't do this and we didn't do that, we would not have won. The National Democratic Congress do everything that the NNP would have done when they go to the different projects and so on. They don't speak about the party or the past administration. They praise the contractor. So they open Monkuma, they praise the Gilbert construction. And all the project you see they go on, they never speak to them, and they have this terminology for 22 years. Keith Mitchell did absolutely nothing in Grenada. I have never heard a Modoti statement made anywhere in this world when it comes to politics. A man governed for 22 years and persons are standing. What Keith Mitchell do in 22 years? But no, within just 8 and 9 months, 6 months of mistake, 2 to 3 months of just a little thing like if all you know what all you're about, and only given to the public sector, one sector. And a lot of Grenadians doesn't understand that. Oh, teachers get paid and pension pay. People, this is one sector. The fishing industries has been left aside. Education, housing. So many different sectors have been left alone since this government has come in. And now we're talking about, oh, and look at all your pension. Did you receive a pension? Check the percentage of Grenadians that had access to that pension. This is a sector of government that government is given. The teachers and the different public servants who got the increase. This is a sector. What has been the contribution to health, youth development? What has been the contribution to housing? What has been the contribution to agriculture and fisheries? This is the questions you need to pose to them. So when they come and they flash to you, oh, we give pension and we give pension and we give pension. This is a sector, one sector of our economy. And you're not getting, you're giving. So at the end of the day, people, when you want to weigh and balance democracy, you have to be democratically equipped enough that even if you vote or you didn't vote, you are of the opinion that you could voice your opinion on whatever feelings that you have about something. I come on my program and I say kudos to the pension payment. But my suggestion is that the pension payment should have been done in a phase. To take a lump sum of money and just throw it into one sector because what of a campaign promise? You come again, you just give teachers money. On what basis? Because they didn't work. So when you weigh and balance some of the things that these persons have done, it's just simply trying to flash things in front of the Grenadian people eye to make them believe, what we're doing, real thing. Many sectors have been left aside. Many sectors. Many constituencies. And the parliamentary representatives. The dedication are not being given to constituencies. This is not why people elected you. And at the end of the day, when you come and you speak of the mistakes, it's like you hate NDC. That's not the point. You cannot be an individual that when an individual speaks as it relates to ills or disadvantages or dislikes, it means that they hate something. They want to see better. The NDC so far has made too many mistakes in such a short space of time. And you heard the gentleman mention it. Not me. The observation is there. Persons are seeing it. Why is it that you continue to, every time you have a press conference, you take front load? Is it the persons are not competent enough? Are you not satisfied and you're speaking for every sector? So people, you see, when we come about to the understanding that you could freely and opinionatively give your say something like, why because the individual supported the NDC during the election, she can't now call out the ills. And then there's a set that, nah man, government doing good. And then you ask them what it is they're doing good. They pay pension. And teachers getting money. And nothing that gives you something to say, watch me. But yeah, we could tap them on the back for that. Absolutely nothing. You understand me? So, I am happy that I played that little... Somebody said they do lie. I'm happy that I played this little clip there for you guys to understand what it is like. What it is really about, ladies and gentlemen. Alright? We are going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, right now. And we're going to jump back into more conversations after this short break. Alright?
Fathers are special, fathers are unique, but then there are some fathers with no behavior. Absolutely no behavior. No behavior. Big Slice Promotions alongside Dredge presents No Behavior on Sunday, June 18th. All fathers and soon-to-be fathers, even wanna-be fathers, will be together on the Rum Runner 2 for the No Behavior Father's Day Cruise. DJ Fishman Jr., 473 Rulers, DJ Smiley, and Bomb Squad. Ladies represent for the men and fathers. Admission only $60, and tickets are available from Chucky's Bar and Brendan at the bus terminal. It's the Father's Day Cruise. No Behavior on the Rum Runner 2. Boarding time 1 p.m. sharp. Sponsored by Carib, Duty Free Caribbean Holding, JC Traders, Dark Blue Energy Drink, Coca-Cola, and the Automotive Warehouse.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back. Just doing this one that is coming up. Father's Day event. For those of us who are fathers and not just daddies. Alright. So again, we're back. So we would continue with our conversations. Alright. Let us continue with our conversations right now. Now, I want to head into a conversation right now that I want us to discuss this conversation. Yes, I want us to discuss this conversation really and truly. Now, what we have seen really in recent days and different recent weeks is that a surprising reveal now as it relates to the Minister of Implementation and the ideas that he boasted on, that it was all my idea and NNP didn't have belly and guts to do this. And now we're hearing that the Lagoon Road project is actually a private entity's idea. The different ideas that have been disseminated are ideas that have been in the coffers for a while, and so on. And it leads me to wonder, like, again, why can't a minister of government holding such a position simply say to the Grenadian people, I have these ideas. These ideas came to mind, but however, will not come to mind. I have those ideas. I want to bring it into existence, but I must mention that other persons were the brain or who drives this. And maybe I should have mentioned that before I spoke about what I spoke of before. It goes to show again, ladies and gentlemen, what is so wrong about coming forward as a politician, a parliamentary representative, to say to people, hey, I have this idea, but however, it was ideas from X, Y, or Z. No, and this is what fails this administration day by day by day. Oh God, just give Jackie it, no. Give Jackie it. Simply say to the Grenadian people, WASH program. Says, well, at one point in time, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest, I thought it was the NDC that initiated the CES program. Because they used this when they got into office as a kudos and a touch on the back, you know. They start to tap themselves on the back and say, yeah, boy, we do a good job. We have been doing a good job. Which is not true. We need to understand one thing, people. When you have persons who can't admit and openly admit those things, it sooner or later will become an issue. And you heard the gentleman who spoke mentioned that. The friend thing in government that you condemned the NNP for, only NNP people again walk away. And now, even ambassadorial positions that have been disseminated on the basis of political affiliation. NDC, I want to speak to all you as somebody from the country. NDC, don't do that. NDC, stop doing that. I can refer you to an individual or individuals who attempted this in 2008. They were given the job with a majority in the House of Parliament, 11-4. Not 9-6, you know. Not 8-7. 11-4. The administration, the opposition now held only 4 parliamentary positions, while the majority went to the government of 11. In 2013, when Grenadians weigh and balance and went back to the polls, the ruling party, even the Prime Minister at the time himself, could not have kept his own seat. Grenadians does not take stupidness for long. NDC, take my words with a pinch of salt. We don't take stupidness for long. All right. Let me go into the comment section, and I want to say a pleasant good afternoon to the persons that are on my YouTube page right now. I can't not come to you guys. I must come to you guys on my YouTube page. I want to say a pleasant good afternoon to you guys. All right, have yourself a wonderful evening. I see you all would not have commented much. All right, so I'm going to go into some Facebook comments, starting with my good friend, boy. All right. Somebody saying they enjoy making themselves look good with other person's vision. All right. Just my point again. Somebody saying good afternoon, teacher. Students did not get my notification. Students did not get my notifications. I don't know why, but I would have posted it. All you had to do was hit the link on my Facebook page, Royalty James. Not me. They cannot motivate this old foot soldier. I in tongue too long. Somebody saying interesting program. A pleasant good afternoon to you, sir. The Prime Minister don't want a name to call. That's why he gave up finance. Are we going to have the conversation about the finance conversation? No problem, bro. All right. So not much was said. So we're going to go into the Ministry of Finance conversation. Now, as I mentioned the other day, it is alarming. It is alarming that for the very first Prime Minister to initiate a bi-monthly payment, having held the position as Minister of Finance. So 1, first Prime Minister to implement. 2, it is your idea, your campaign promise, to be fulfilled. And the opportunity to sit in the chair and, as usual, be exorbitant and show off about it, because that's what you all do, just be exorbitant and show off about things. You gave up that role. I don't know if anybody in the class could tell me better. Tell me what is really going on. Anybody in the class have an idea? Anybody have an idea why they believe that the Prime Minister would give up the role of Ministry of Finance all of a sudden in a time when you can, as I said, beat your chest on the basis that, hey boy, I implemented that. I Deacon Mitchell. Nobody had an idea why brother Deacon gave up that position. Sometimes when you hear a kettle whistle, not because he's glad. Sometimes you're outside and you hear your mother kettle whistling inside. It's not because the kettle glad. So old people say it's because fire in it. So don't feel all good whistle is good whistle. So the nice words of how much that can be done and would have been done. You run, and we are waiting to know why you run. Somebody said he wants to give one of his other ministers the opportunity to shine. He ain't want all the ratings himself. Okay, acceptable. Acceptable. That is an acceptable one. Somebody say no money, so he don't want to be there. Another person he say after 9 months the child born because he get a 619. I have some funny persons in my class. I like that one. I love that one actually. Yes, so it is really alarming. It is really alarming. And first time in all my years, I know of a cabinet shuffle where two ministers, two ministerial positions that was moved, Only two ministerial positions that was swapped. I know usually when government is doing a cabinet reshuffle, you have 2 or 3 parliamentary rep that would normally, make those changes. So I am waiting. I await our dear brother, our dear Prime Minister, to come forward and let the Grenadian people know what really happened there. Doc held this position for years. After brother what's his name again? Our representative for St. Patrick's West Prior. Trying to remember his brother Boswin. After brother Boswin would have given up the ministerial position in finance, brother, brother Bola. Trying to remember names right now. The brain don't even function properly right now. All right. But about 3 persons held that position for the NNP, including the Prime Minister, and they held it for a lengthy period of time, in excess of a year. But we see our very young, educated, and transformational Prime Minister giving up that position, which is really, really, really alarming. So yes, Brother Bowen would have held that position. Brother Boswin would have held that position, and the Honorable Dr. Kid Mitchell, but all held it in an excess of more than a year. And so I wonder what they did so different that what the present Prime Minister is doing. All right, somebody saying the man have better things to do. He go in works now to get money. The one he meet finish. So he going to sell the spot where the hospital is now for millions for foreign investors. Teacher, do you know Sylvester and Cornwallis brothers? Yes. Actually, again, and I say, you see, sometimes during my little investigations and researches, I get to know things. But I hate irrelevant conversation. I think to mention that is irrelevant. Like, they're brothers, they're working with government, and so be it. What would raise an alarm if something comes up that would include some form of family business opening spontaneously? Because we know that's how they does operate. Sooner or later you hear they say there's some family business, they open some business and the brothers have a business. Then we jot that to the attention of. You understand me? Finally, Che, you get hooked on. It's good. So a pleasant good afternoon to you, Che. Blessed afternoon, brother. Right? So I do know, Miss Charles, I do know, but I didn't think it was relevant at the time to mention it. All right. So as I said, it is really alarming. It is alarming. We're starting the bi-monthly payment on Friday. which has been initiated by the present Prime Minister, the very first Prime Minister to do it. And so, to sit in the chair and enjoy, that experience, to be the first Prime Minister, to be even in the ministerial position, to have paid that, keep that history to your name, you left. Spooky, right? Somebody saying all your advise ministers' salary flying plane more than air hostess and play jab with the rest big stoops. Boy, I want to say this. I want to say this, people. You see, to travel is one. I'm not against parliamentarians traveling. But I find when NDC come back is that they come with in match pass. Before you heard, listen to what I'm coming with. Before you know, past ministers would travel, and when you hear they come back, you hear they come back with a donation from Russia, Germany, Czechoslovakia, wherever, and you would hear they give some form of donation. Now, when NDC parliamentarians come back, is that they come in match pass. They come back with a two-hand swinging. Nobody never give them nothing. You hear they come in some meeting, expenditure left, right, and center, spend what kind of money, and then they're not coming back home with nothing. Nothing. They're not coming back home to say, well, okay, somebody donate that to Grenada. I mean, I don't know if I'm not listening to the news. But come on, people. Before you hear Doc or somebody make a little travel, you hear they come back and they get some donation from somebody. Doc brought back some bike van for us. You remember that was donated to us? I mean, and they see them come back with something so that broomstick. You traveling every day, air hostess and pilots. They're always in some way according to the person. When they come back, let they come in match pass. Two hands swinging, I tell you. Nothing. They like they get a ride. They get a ride on the plane. No. Alright? Somebody said the NDC government always like to jump plane. Just like after 2008 election, only behaving like them is pilot. Somebody say Ron and Andy coming to Brooklyn. Tevin came, he go back. Quiet. Wow. Those guys are them outside. Oh my goodness. Listen to me. It is always a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. Always a pleasure to come here and share ideas and information with you guys. And, converse today. We really had an interactive session. Somebody saying all they're doing is traveling to go in town hall meeting. The party's supposed to raise funds for that. And I think they do have a town hall meeting tomorrow. As I said, I is one person, people. And if you know me well, you know definitely I don't like to be biased. I think I got a message. Yeah, I got a message. There is a message being circulated under the name the ministry. They said, let's talk about minimum wage. The Ministry of Legal Affairs, Labor and Consumer Affairs will hold a town hall meeting on April 12, 2023 at the current government school in St. David's at 6 p.m. Join us to speak openly, share opinions, and ask questions. So that is an open meeting, right? And you see, remember we're going back to the same thing, eh? Now that is a public meeting because it has made a public invitation. Not like the one the boy go and sit down in, right? This is a public invitation. And so the Ministry of Legal Affairs, Labor and Consumer Affairs, they are asking for your audience tomorrow evening, I believe at 6 p.m. That is at the current government school. So feel free to go and ask questions. Feel free to go out there and ask questions and listen to me. As NNP supporters, when opportunities come like that, don't afraid to take it. Go and ask them something. Go and see what they know. Go and hear what ideas they have. It's not to convince you, but sometimes you it's state affairs, and you ought to be updated with state affairs. And there's nothing wrong in knowing or being knowledgeable of. All right. So that is one of the information that we're disseminating this evening. Somebody saying good afternoon. Yeah, Faith Peters, yes. I hear what I want you to do. Just go in the principal office, give him your textbook, and then go back home. Because you can't tell me you're reaching in school when school done. It is 8 minutes past 6. Class is usually from 5 to 6. And you only caught me because I have to give homework. All right. So, again, it was a wonderful evening. Nice little conversation as per usual. I want to say congratulations to the Royal Grenada Police Force team on placing second at the inter-regional cricket competition this weekend that was held, I think, is in Barbados. Yes, I think it was held in Barbados. And so I want to say congratulations to the Royal Grenada Police Force team. Pascal, big up yourself. Troy Paul, Sergeant Noel, Charlo, Inspector Batiste. The whole team, I want to big up yourself. Congratulations. I think it was a successful weekend for Grenada in its sense. So if we come second at the inter-regional cricket competition, it means that we shine for the entire weekend, right? So without any further ado, I want to say thank you for giving me your evening. It is always a pleasure to be on here, conversing with you. All who were here, I want to say thank you for your time. We will be back here again on Thursday to speak more on whatever conversation, whatever conversation that comes to my way to start in. All right. So again, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure. Just before I leave, allow me to do this.
Fathers are special. Fathers are unique. But then there are some fathers with no behavior. Absolutely no behavior. No behavior. Big Slice Promotions alongside Dredge presents No Behavior. On Sunday, June 18th, all fathers and soon-to-be fathers, even wanna-be fathers, will be together on the Rum Runner 2 for the No Behavior Father's Day Cruise. DJ Fishman Jr., 473 Rulers, DJ Smiley, and Bomb Squad. Ladies represent for the men and fathers, no man. Admission only $60, and tickets are available from Chucky's Bar and Brendan at the bus terminal. It's the Father's Day Cruise. No Behavior on the Rum Runner 2. Boarding time 1 p.m. sharp. Sponsored by Carib, Duty Free Caribbean Holding, JC Traders, Dark Blue Energy Drink, Coca-Cola, and the Automotive Warehouse.
I hear hopes I see Joey Ramai. I say, who you calling by me? I see Robin Gopal and Eversley. Ramkila one sing and Dolce. Bagwan didn't sing crying like a baby. Ram sing Thomas and Sanka Rally. I dreamt I met these 9 men on death row. They tell the public in case they go. They say it pay we to kill Errol Spencer. It did pay we to talk to Escobar. All them drug money we give UNC. You know they come back and arrest the hangman on we. They did pay we more than 90,000 to get rid of Selwyn Richardson. But now we controls the law, so you ring the bell. But we waiting for him, cause we sure he coming in hell. And we go grab him, and we go stab him. We waiting patiently to give him trouble. We go choke him penis with a needle, and we go lock him. Get man no Benjamin top. All them wicked things they say they go do, because they say they sure you did kill people too. Bye. I jump out my bed like a madman when I hear the information. I pick up my pen and say, crow. You have to put this in Kaiser. But then I study slander and I study libel because they mention the Attorney General. But then I tell myself, crooks, you slate clean, cause you're simply reporting a dream. They say it did pay we to shoot and kill his head. He did pay we to make sure Alwyn King dead. He is one of the most wicked men that we know, responsible for more than half the men in death row. He did tell we if we kill Clint Huggins someday, he assure we bound to get away. But now he controls the law, so he ring the bell. But we waiting for him, cause we sure he coming in here. And we go woo him, and we go school. We go to make him ball for weeks, days and nights. Then he go know the wrong things for human rights. And we go pull him. Then we go. All them wicked things they're planning for you, because they say they sure you did kill people too. They say crooks, we know we do plenty, but crooks tell the public for we. Tell them that we are terribly sorry for the Babulal family. But is he who encouraged me to do this? Is he used to say to kill the witness? I begging all you, be careful with the chief, cause the Apola is worse than the thief. He defend we when PNM was there. Soon as they slipped through, he throw we away. From since the days of Rama and the Fruit King, all them in jacket and tie, all them was stealing. The girl they find dead in the car trunk in Gulf City. Crooks tell the public, we know it was he. Murazi never quail, we cannot see well, so we waiting for him to be sure he coming in hell. And we go scratch him, and we go bash him. All them wrong things he do, he bound to regret. He got to know that there is life after death, and we go scrape him. Now we go take turns and we go. All them wicked things they're planning for you, because they